Have you ever wondered what a really truly creative day looks like? You know, not just the shiny finished product, but the messy, raw process from the moment an idea sparks. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're getting this incredible inside look at one single day in the life of dream artist and creator Nicholas Alexander Benson. We're going to see how a wild dream about a wereshark at 4:30 in the morning ends up becoming comics, code, and a whole lot more.
And really, this quote says it all, doesn't it? This is the key to his entire creative engine. For Nicholas, dreams aren't just these random things that happen when you're asleep. Nope. They are the literal source code, the raw material for his art, his music, his stories. He doesn't just have dreams. He actively mines them for ideas and puts them to work.
And that work, it starts way before the sun is even up. We're talking 4:30 a.m. For him, this isn't about just being an early bird. It's a frantic race against time. He's trying to capture all those fragile, bizarre fragments of the dream world before they just evaporate into the morning light. His entire day is built around that one core principle: get the dream down before it disappears.
On this particular morning, the source material was especially good. The big creative spark for the day came from a lucid dream, a full-blown adventure that was about to send ripples through all of his projects. But before we get into it, you gotta meet the cast of characters.
Okay, first up we have Johnson. Now, if you follow his work, you know Johnson. He's a recurring character in this ongoing dream world, a familiar, friendly face. You can think of him as the reliable sidekick in these subconscious adventures, who just happens to be an orange goldfish in a blue astronaut suit. Totally normal, right?
And then there's the power source. See, in his dreams, Nicholas isn't just watching things happen. He has this ability he calls lucid light. It's basically his superpower to warp and shape the reality of the dream. It's his personal defense mechanism, and he describes it as this sparkling purple energy, kind of like a starry night sky.
So the scene is set. Here's the play-by-play. It starts out totally peaceful. He's at the beach with Johnson, and a wereshark swims up and offers him a friendly ride. Seems cool, right? But then, bam! That trust is completely shattered. He gets pulled under the water and realizes it's an ambush. A second shark comes charging in. But just when things look really bad, that lucid light just erupts, creating this protective shield that not only blocks the attack, but sends both sharks running, or swimming. In just a few seconds of dream time, you get this whole mini-epic of trust, betrayal, and survival.
But here's the thing. For Nicholas, experiencing the dream, that's just the beginning. The real magic, the real work, starts the second he wakes up. It's that whole process of taking this fleeting, subconscious event and forging it into something real, something tangible that we can all share.
And this is where we get to see his brain working in two totally different ways at once. It's fascinating. So on one hand, in his podcast Dreamcast, he gets super analytical. He's dissecting the dream, figuring out its meaning. He connects the wereshark's betrayal to this really frustrating debate he had the day before. But then, on the other hand, in Dream Tunes, that exact same conflict gets transformed into pure art, into the lyrics of a song. It's the same story told through two completely different lenses: cold, hard logic and pure, raw melody.
And that creative energy, that initial spark from the dream, doesn't just stop there. It seems to create this ripple effect, fueling totally separate projects all throughout his morning, from drawing comics to game development. Yeah, his creative radar is just always on. You know, he's constantly pulling in ideas from everywhere. It's not just about looking inward at his own dreams. It's about looking outward at the world, at science, at the news, at everything.
Okay, get this. For this comic book idea, he takes two things that have absolutely nothing to do with each other. A real theory from a Harvard scientist that some weird space object could be a hostile alien ship, and this bizarre news story about a guy who developed psychosis from talking to an AI. And then he just smashes them together. He brainstorms with his AI partner, Nova 5, and comes up with this incredible concept, a story about a man who, after talking with an AI, becomes convinced he has to build a superhero suit to fight off an alien invasion. I mean, wow.
As if all that wasn't enough for one morning, he then pivots to a completely different medium, making a video game. Now, this screen might look a little old school, a little retro, but don't let that fool you. What you're looking at is the foundation of a really complex and strategic game.
So what is this thing? Well, imagine this. You're dropped onto a map that's different every single time you play. You're all alone, except for the 9 other autonomous AIs that are actively hunting you. Your only tools are text commands to move around, search for weapons, and try to outsmart them, all while this wall of flaming towers is closing in, shrinking the map around you. It just proves you don't need fancy graphics to create a super tense, strategic experience.
So,
After a morning of battling dream sharks, writing about alien invasions, and coding survival games, how do you even come back down to Earth? Well, that's the thing. This intense, creative life is still perfectly balanced with the normal routines and concerns of the real world.
And sometimes, coming back down to Earth is as simple as a grocery bill. $45.40. After a morning spent literally building entire worlds from scratch, there's still the practical reality of going to the store. The contrast is just, it's perfect. It's so human.
And you see that balance in the rest of his day, too. There's the physical stuff, like a charity walk. There's personal connection, making time for family. And then there are these moments of really deep thought on bigger societal issues, like this lawsuit he's following that worries him. It just shows that the same mind that's analyzing dream symbolism is also analyzing the complex systems of the real world.
So, how do you even begin to summarize a day that's this packed, with lucid dreams and artistic creation and coding and real-world stuff? Well, in true Nicholas fashion, he distills the entire chaotic experience down into one final creative act for the day.
He makes his daily highlight comic. And here are the 5 big takeaways for August 15th. It's the perfect summary, isn't it? The dream battle, the charity walk, the game, the new comic idea, and just hanging out with his dad. Each one is a key moment from the day, captured and chronicled. It's like his way of putting a final, artistic signature on the day.
And really, seeing a day laid out like this, it kind of makes you look at your own day a little differently. It makes you stop and wonder what moments from your last 24 hours, whether they were huge or tiny, are just sitting there, waiting for you to turn them into your next story.